Hello everyone, I'm Rose, and you have found Untwist Your Stitches, a Flosstube channel about my cross stitch and other crafting endeavors. Today is January 9th, 2025, and I do not know what happened to 2024. It flew by. There was a lot going on last year with my move and all the things that went along with that, so 2025, I hope, settles down a little bit and things get as normal as my life can get, which sometimes is not that normal. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by and giving it a look. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. I'm glad that you came back to give it another watch, and I hope there's some things that are new that you will enjoy. It's only been a couple weeks, and I did my end of the year review of all my finishes. I did my whip parade and my plans for 2025. So you've seen me recently if you are a subscriber. So with the new year, I have decided to join the Roxy Floss Company's Floss Club. This is the first time I've done a club for anything other than patterns. So this will be a new experience for me. There were two, I believe both of them are new this year. One of them was called the ABCs of Roxy Floss Co. And what it is they start at the letter A and work their way through the alphabets of all the different names of the floss they currently have. And that sounds really fun if you want to have all of their current production floss. The one I chose to do is called One of a Kind Club. And what they've done is they're picking 4 colors that are kind of a gradation of colors. You know, it goes from like dark, medium, medium light, light. And then they have another one that is a complementary color. Oh, excuse me. And the last one they have is, at least what they were showing on their Flosstube that I watched, the first one is kind of a speckle. And it will be very unique. None of them will be the same, because the way that they did the coloring on that floss, you just can't duplicate it. So each month there will be 6 flosses that come. I believe the first one will be shipped out January 20th. I also believe there is a limited number of spaces for that club. So if you're interested in it, you need to go to the Roxy Floss Co. and give it a look. The way I found it when I was trying to get it ordered was to write in Roxy Floss Co. Floss Club, because there's many Roxy Floss Co. Directions that you can go, but to get to the Floss Club, that is how you get to it. So I am doing the One of a Kind Club. Each month I will show you what the colors are, and then you know, if you're interested, like I said, go to their website and give it a look. Having said that, do you have any clubs that you are subscribed to, be it fabric, floss, patterns, notions, anything? Are you one of those people that likes to get these surprise packages once a month and you're willing to put the money forth to receive them. And if you do, leave a comment about that and let me know so that I can go and look at them. I don't know that I'll sign up for another club, but at least it would be something to look at and to see if it was of interest to me. The next thing I have to show you is I have sort of an FFO. In my end of the year video, I showed you the finish for this one, and now I sort of have an FFO. This is how my blooming swan from Pigeon Coop Designs is going to be displayed. Now, the reason I say this is sort of a finish, a fully finished, FFO means fully finished object, is because I haven't laced the back yet. I got it into the frame, I got it situated, I had a couple of tries getting it straight so that when it hangs, it doesn't hang at a funny angle, making sure I had it in the position I wanted it to be in. So I've done that, and now I just have to lace the back of it. And I wanted to get this video out this week because it just was, this week is going to be the easiest week in January for me to get things done. And I like to do my videos kind of towards the beginning of each month. So that is my only fully finished object. And I'm very pleased with how that turned out. Very happy with it. I do not have any FOs. I did not finish anything that any of my whips that I've been working on. So that's my only finish. So the blooming swan, I did tell you that it was a Pigeon Coop design. I stitched it. I started it on the winter equinox, which was December 21st this year. The SAL was hosted by Helen D. and Maine Moose Mom Stitcher. The fabric that it is stitched on, I probably should be a little more coherent with this, but this is 16 count, picture this plus, and the color is called Coastal. Not sure if it's really coming through in, that's a better depiction of what the blue looks like. It's not really a baby blue. It's not really a sea foam. It's kind of, it's hard color to describe, but it really set this pattern off nicely. I used all of the called for colors except for the sparkle that I did down here in the water and the arch over her head. And then in this water down here, I don't know if you can see it, but there is Krynic blending filament in that to give the white a little bit of sparkle as well. But this was a really easy, quick pattern to do. It took me only 4 days to do it. I started on the 21st, kind of in the evenings. I didn't get a full day of it. And then by the morning of the 26th, I was finished with it. So that was my only fully finish. Now, whips. WIPS means works in progress. So if you're new to these acronyms for stitching, I'll try to be as clear as I can. But the first whip I have to show you is my Heaven and Earth design. It is called Christmas Cottage. I'll put a picture up of it. I don't have it printed off in color. I've just got a black and white, and it really doesn't give it a good depiction, so I'll put a picture up of it. The artwork was from Dona Gelsinger, and this one is my oldest WIP. I've been working on it since 2013. And just to give you an idea, the reason that it's taken me so long is each page of this Heaven and Earth design has 4,550 stitches in it. And the majority of that is confetti stitches. So it takes quite a while to get through just a single page. And there are, oh, I forgot to check. There are 64 pages of, no, 54 pages, sorry, 54 pages. But this is where I am at the moment. I worked down here in this section. I finished off, I finished off the fence. I'll put a picture of where I started and where I finished. Now I have just a few more stitches right in this tiny section right here to finish this page, and then I'll be on to the next page, which will bring it out to the edge here of the pattern. But that is where I am at, and this is going to be a focus piece this year. Every month it will get a minimum of 1 full week of work on it, and I would like to get at least 6 to 8 pages done this year. I hope I can do that. In July, when we do the Christmas in July, it may get 2 weeks of work on it, and we'll see how that goes. But I really want to focus on this piece because I'm getting very, very close to the bottom of the pattern, and I would like to get it done, or as close to done as I can this year. So that was worked on from the 15th to the 20th, and then, as I said, on winter solstice I did the blooming swan pattern. When I finished it on the 26th through the 28th to finish that week out, I kept going on my Christmas or my snowman. Oh, and the fabric that I'm working on is 16 count light dove gray. I believe it's a Charles Craft fabric. It's just a plain, there's no modeling or anything in the fabric because it's a full coverage. There's no point in having a fancy fabric to do that on. Also, because of December with Christmas and the New Year's and all of the stuff that was going on, we didn't have the kids here this year, but still there was a lot of different things going on with my husband bringing stuff up from California, putting things away, getting him organized to go back down and finish the packing. There just was a lot of chaos this year. So my stitching was kind of here, there, and everywhere during the holidays. But the next thing I did was on the 29th and 30th, I started a new pattern. What I'm going to do this year is I'm always going to have a small on the go, and it will be in the rotation. I have 12 right now. I have 12. I may make it 13. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. But I have 12 WIPs on the go at this time, and a smalls is always going to be in one of the bags. And at the moment, the small that I'm working on is this one right here. It's Patriotic Snowman. And it's in this Angelic Snowman pamphlet by American School of Needlework. And the amount of stitching I got, whoops, there's a needle in there. I didn't know there was a needle. I thought it was just the thread. So let me, okay. That is how far I got in 2 days on my Patriotic Snowman. Now, if you've watched me for a while, and if you saw my Christmas extra, you will know that I collect snowmen. And throughout the year, there's usually a snowman displayed with the rest of my decorations, no matter what time of year it is. There's always a snowman out. And this little guy will be no different. He will come out between June and July, because in the United States, in June, we have Flag Day and 4th of July, and there's another holiday that I bring my patriotic pieces out for. But he will be on display for 2 to 2.5 months once I get him done. This is 32 count Belfast linen, red polka dot. And that was worked on for 2 days. Excuse me. Then on New Year's Eve, I had to stop and think of what day it was. On New Year's Eve, I started this. It's called Smiling Strawberries, and it's by Vermillion Stitchery. It was a pattern I had in my stash for quite some time and always wanted to do. This is one of those It's So Emma bags. And what I want, the reason that I started this one is this is what I want all of my small, when I'm working on smalls throughout the year, this is the bag that I want them to be in. So I want to get this one done and have it as the smalls bag. Now, I worked on it New Year's Eve only until, I've got notes here, but I'm not reading them. Oh, and then I started it, I pulled it out again on the 5th. If you're new to my channel, what I do is Sunday through Saturday, I work on one project. And I rotate my projects each week so that I'm always got something new to dig into. And that's how I get my WIPs done. But I like to give my WIPs a full week of time so that I can really see a good amount of progress. And this week, starting on the 5th, I pulled this little guy back out, and I'm getting very close to a finish. There's one more strawberry over here, and then the leaf up here, but I'm very close to having this one done, and I really love it. I love the colors. Usually what they do for these It's So Emma patterns is they have you work it in pearl cotton. Well, I don't need another floss. So what I do, instead of using pearl cotton, is I take my DMC thread and I use all 6 strands at one time, and I go over 2 squares on the bag. and that's why it's so large. But I'm using the DMC colors that the pattern called for. And when I get to the back stitching, I'm going to use just 2 strands. This was not a pattern that was made for this It's So Emma bags. This was just a pattern I had in my stash. I've always wanted to do it. I counted out the size, and I knew it would fit on this bag, so I went ahead and used this pattern. And then my last WIP that I'm going to show you today, on January 1st, I started my blessing sampler. Now, if you don't know what that is, this is the first year I've done it, and I didn't know at first what it was, but I was listening to a few of the other floss tubers that I watch regularly. And what you're supposed to do is on the 1st of January, you're supposed to start a sampler. And hopefully it's a size where you can finish it within the month of January. And I chose this sampler by Sugar Stitches. Sorry. Now, I'm changing it somewhat. I'm not going to put January up here. I've brought the border down so that it's just barely above this. Well, let me show you. This is how I'm doing mine. I've brought the border down. The other thing that I've changed is, as you can see, the window down here with the candle in it did not have a cardinal in it. It was just a blank window pane. Well, I didn't want to do it that way. So I put together a little cardinal and added him into the window next to the candle. In doing that, I had to bring the window pane out, I believe, 8 stitches. Now, that's going to mess up this set of 3 snowflakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3, I'm going to switch them up this way. I'll stitch them this vertically rather than horizontally. I'll take one of these motifs and put it down over here. And I'm not sure if up here, I'm not sure if I will have to put it up here or if I'll be able to put it next to the white motif, but I'm going to put 2025 on it. And then I will have that as my blessing sampler for this year. And what I've decided to do is there's one of these samplers for each month. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to buy all 12 of them, and then each year, of course, starting this year, 2025, I will do a different month and just do the same thing. Take the month out, put in whatever year it is that I'm doing it for. So next year, February will be 2026 and continue on in that vein. And then they'll all be very similar in style, and I'll have at least 12 years of blessing samplers that I can do. And I think this is a good size. I think I can more than get done with this in the month of January and have it figure out how I'm going to display it. I think that what I want to do is put it on a hanger and, you know, do it like a bell pull, and then each following year I can add to that and add to that and add to that, and we'll just see how that works. But that is my plan as of January of 2025. So those are all my WIPs. That's all I have to show you for WIPs this time. The next thing up is going to be what I call postal prizes, and that is my purchases for since the last time you saw me on a regular video. All of these came from 123 Stitch, and the reason that I ordered from them is because I needed to get a sampler to do. So one of my new purchases is this January sampler, upside down, by Sugar Stitches. I bought the Christmas Quaker from Primrose Cottage. That'll be one of my smalls that I do when it's time. I was having a hard time figuring out what sampler I wanted to do, and I typed sampler into 123 and a lot of different options came up. So the rest of these patterns are other samplers that came up when I was trying to decide what I was going to do for this year. This one is called Cardinal Star Sampler, and it is by Crafty Bluebonnet. I thought this was a really, it's kind of, there we go. This one came up from Little House Needleworks. It is called Bits and Pieces of Winter. I don't think it has a number on it, and I don't think it's part of a series. I think it's a standalone pattern. But I thought it was really cute too. Snowman down here. And the final one was Rocky Mountain Quaker. And this is by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And I may do this one this year just because it just really, I love those Quakers. And it's really a cool pattern to do. So this may get done this year also. It just isn't going to be my Blessings sampler. And the final thing I got, because I have a pattern that I need a fabric for, and it's this one. This is called Doubloon. It's a Belfast linen 32 count. Picture This Plus from 123 Stitch. But I thought that would be perfect for one of the patterns that is coming up sometime this year when I get my other WIPs finished. So those are what I call my postal prizes. Oh, and then, as you probably already know, there have been a flurry of WIP parades, advent calendar openings, Christmas stitching, all sorts of extras that floss tubers have been doing in the month of December and into January. And I mean, I open up my floss tube or my YouTube, and I've got all of these notices. Oh, so-and-so has got something up. So-and-so has got something up. So it's been really hard to keep up with all the extras and all that. But some of the ones that I think are really great and are worth watching, so I'm going to give you their names and what it was that they were, some of the things that they were doing. So B&E Stitchery did a WIP parade and plans for 2025. Rose Crafty Corner did a whip parade, and they also celebrated their first year Flossaversary. So if you have not heard of them, there are two ladies from Australia that do a floss tube, and they're really great. You should go give them a watch. They're real fun to see. Two Needles Pulling Thread did a whip parade. Also, they did some of their finishes from last year. So they did finishes and they did a whip parade. Cross Stitch the Globe. Those girls are putting up. I am really in awe of how much they put up, because I know by doing just one floss a month how much work that is, and they're doing one every week. So they've got a whip board. They did a whip parade or a WIPGO board. If you're interested in that, Jessie Marie Does Stuff is the creator of WIPGO. Go give her a look. They also did it was kind of funny. They're doing a predictions of what they think will be popular in 2025. And then, as I understand it, towards the end of the year, they're going to go back and review and see how many of the things they predicted were going to be popular actually came to fruition. Sarah's Stitchery did a did a whip parade, and I believe she also had a Flossaversary in there. Handmade by Sarah W. just recently did her whip parade. The Sun City Stitchers did a whip parade. The Floss Boss and Cousins did a whip parade. They did plans, and then they showed their finishes from 2024. Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, she did a whip parade. Stitching by the Shore, Laura, I do not believe that she's done a whip parade. I'm not sure if she's planning to or not. With all of the things that I've watched in the last month, I can't remember specifics, but I think she said she was not going to do a whip parade. But don't hold me to that. Go look at her channel and give her a listen, and then you'll know. But she did some flip through of a magazine, and then she did her plans for 2025. The Carolina Stitchers did plans and their WIPGO board. Helen D did a whip parade. She's done some finishes from 2024. She did Christmas stitching, and then she had several secret stitches that she couldn't show until she had gifted them. So she did a small floss tube about those secret stitches so that you could see what she had done, even though now they have all been gifted. So basically there's just a lot of pictures of that. The Stitching Owl, she did a whip parade. She did plans, and then she, during the month of December, she did a daily, I don't know what you would call it, vlog. Toby Knits did a daily during December. I believe she had 3 different Advent clubs that she had signed up for, so she was able to open a gift every day on her posts, so that you could see what she had gotten in her Advent subscription. And then on New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve, to me, that's when I was able to get on and watch some of it. I was in and out because there was a lot of things going on New Year's Eve, but they did a live whip parade where Pam and Steph showed all of their WIPs, and it was amazing. Now, as I understand it, on Pam's Instagram, because that was on Instagram, it wasn't on Flosstube, I think Pam said that you can still watch that on her Instagram channel, or on her Instagram page. So if I'm understanding what they said in their last Flosstube, you can still see it. You just have to go to her page on Instagram. And I haven't done it. I'm going to, because I'd like to see the whole thing, because like I said, I was in and out and didn't get to watch the entire process as it went along. But it was, what I did see was amazing. Also, I've been wanting to do this for the last 2 regular floss tubes, and for some reason when it comes to the end I keep forgetting. But there is a new floss tube out there. It is called Floss Paper Scissors, and it is Julie and her daughter Catherine, and they are so hilarious and just so fun to watch. You really need to go see them, because they just are amazing and fun, and they make you laugh. The last one I remember seeing, they were filming in Julie's kitchen, and her husband came up to the window behind them, and at first they didn't notice him, and then he scared them, and it was hilarious. So if you haven't heard of them, I would highly encourage you to go and watch their new channel. I think they have 4 floss tubes out at the moment. But anyway, well worth your time, well worth the effort to go and find them. But as I said, the name of their floss tube is Floss Paper Scissors. And all of the floss tubers that I've mentioned in my video will be in the notes below, so that you can go and see them and enjoy their content as you have time to do. You might know some of them, you might not, but give them all a watch. And thank you for coming and watching me. That's all I have this month. In February, I hope to have a little bit more. And I will see you then. In the meantime, enjoy your stitching and enjoy your time with your craft. Thank you. Bye.